Hello, I'm Chris Williams from Read Comics They're Bad For You, the name of my YouTube channel. Or if you're watching this on BitChute, the name of my BitChute channel is Comic Freak. Today we're going to be talking about Daisy Ridley and about how she basically flubbed earlier in the week and is now being attacked by the SJW fringe she so prized till recently. And we'll read this article that'll tell us how she's trying to get back in their good graces. Star Wars actor Daisy Ridley, every sane person has an issue with President Donald Trump. Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker actress Daisy Ridley recently stated that every sane person has an issue with President Donald Trump. In an interview with The Guardian, Ridley was asked by No Shin Iqbal if Disney restricts what she can talk about publicly. She responded, "No, I don't feel I have to edit what I say. The things that make me angry are the things that make everyone angry. Awful arrogant of you, Ridley." She continued, "Everyone is annoyed with Boris Johnson. Everyone has an issue with Trump. Every sane person, anyway." Every sane person, huh, Daisy Ridley? As I said, that's awful arrogant of you. You know, that's a sign of mental illness, at least with people who have Asperger's autism, to think that everyone thinks like them, you know. So I wouldn't be spouting that you think everyone who is sane thinks like you, because let's say you are diagnosed with Asperger's autism. Doesn't it make every sane person have a mental illness? I would say yes. At least if they think like you, right, Daisy Ridley? Ridley then explains why she doesn't talk about Boris Johnson and Donald Trump. Well, I don't expect her to say anything about them because I think she's kind of an idiot and doesn't know anything about anything. It's not that I don't talk about this stuff, but other people are so much more articulate than me and say it better. She also noted earlier in the interview that other people she has worked with have loud voices. Star Wars has given me the opportunity to do smaller things and allowed me to say no, which is glorious. I don't talk a lot about various things because there are people fighting the good fight, and I know I have safety in that the people I have worked with have loud voices. In this instance, she appears to be talking about the Me Too movement. Ridley expands. Well, there was another film I really wanted to do, but there was a number of factors that meant I didn't believe it was right. Obviously, Daisy Ridley is trying to pander to the Me Too movement, saying that she has been propositioned by people who are more powerful than her, but she is also saying she doesn't talk about such things, leaving it to other people, meaning if she gets propositioned by any producers or directors trying to do sexual favors with her, she obviously won't talk about it and basically keep her mouth shut, while saying that she's all for the Me Too movement and supports it fully. But she's obviously not going to fight for it at all, huh? That's very good of you, Daisy Ridley. When asked why, Ridley added, "Well, it wasn't equal and all that stuff, so I said no, even though that's really scary, but how much of a blessing is it to be able to say no?" Ridley is not the only Star Wars star to take issue with President Donald Trump. Star Wars icon Mark Hamill is also an outspoken critic of the president. Back in June, Hamill compared the recent iteration of Chucky to Donald Trump. Bringing up Mark Hamill and President Donald Trump, huh? Well, what about Daisy Ridley saying that she says she feels blessed for being able to say no to anyone who propositions her, but she will let these people get away with it and continue doing it to other people as long as she thinks other people will do it for her. She's saying that she'll keep her mouth shut, but she won't do anything herself to help anyone. So you're all for the Me Too movement as long as you don't have to do anything for it, but you're perfectly willing to use it to deflect from the criticism you had for daring to say you're the same as John Boyega. Huh, that's funny. And we're back to the Chucky thing with, when asked if the doll resembled Trump, Hamill stated, "That's pretty accurate." He added, "Now he's even creepier than he was before." Hamill also called for President Trump's Hollywood star to be removed and replaced by one for Carrie Fisher. You know, it's pretty telling when Mark Hamill is brought up about Daisy Ridley making comments about Donald Trump, all in hopes that she can win back some of the cred she got from the SJWs because she dared talk about John Boyega and her being in the same boat. Like the writer of this article is flashing us Mark Hamill like you do with a baby when flashing your car keys at them, basically saying, "Don't look at that, look at this." Daisy Ridley just admitted that she's for the Me Too movement, but she's basically only using it so she can get back the street cred she lost with John Boyega, while the writer of this article has no way to paint her in a better light than flashing us Mark Hamill. Meanwhile, Hamill has also indicated on Twitter he hates President Donald Trump. Mark Ho 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 Hamill. "No, we hate Trump because we love America. Once again, I have to ask the writer of this article, what does Mark Hamill have to do with Daisy Ridley beyond Star Wars, and how does he relate to her current predicament with the John Boyega incident? Donald Trump responded to Mark Hamill's tweet with, "Hilarious watching the D's scramble as their precious collusion narrative dies a slow, painful, hilarious death. Meanwhile, Trump is working to denuclearize the Korean Peninsula and keep our economy humming. DC Dims could join in and MAGA, but they hate Trump more than they love America." And that's true. I guess the point of bringing up Mark Hamill is because he hates Donald Trump just like Daisy Ridley does, so Daisy Ridley, thinks anyone who agrees with him is insane, and that anyone who agrees with her must be sane. Even though she is just a rich person who seems to be in a bubble, telling her that everything she does is right and everything she can do is good. Well, that's obviously wrong, Daisy Ridley, if you bring up the John Boyega incident. The Rise of Skywalker director J.J. Abrams signed an open letter back in 2016 before the election denouncing Donald Trump. It reads in part, "Never has there been a presidential candidate who stands in such complete opposition to the ideals of the Star Trek universe. As Donald Trump, his election would take this country backward, perhaps disastrously. And you idiot, don't have any idea what you're doing. You're obviously been paid by the corporations you work for to say this, and I can't believe I have to say this myself, that you are obviously the one who's going to set this country back disastrously." I'm not going to read J.J. Abrams' little tweet here for Star Trek Against Trump. It's a stupid little rant he made 3 years ago, and it's a piece of garbage he made, but it's probably his best piece of garbage if you compare it to anything else he's ever made. What can I say about Daisy Ridley? This is all just a sham. She's bringing up the Me Too movement. She's bringing up anything she possibly can to deflect from the criticism she's getting for daring to say that she and John Boyega are basically the same. Well, they are basically the same. They're both rich morons who have no idea what they're talking about. I have to agree with a recent tweet from Patrick Stewart that he says that no one should listen to anything that actors speak online or in the public. He finds that actors, including himself, are very stupid and that no one should listen to anything they ever have to say. That I have to agree with. That's the first honest comment I've heard from an actor in years. You know that old saying, a politician is lying when his mouth is open? I'd say we should apply that saying to actors and people who run corporations, because they do nothing but lie to you. They want to change this world into a cyberpunk dystopia, and I say we must stop them at every turn. But you see, they constantly make mistakes. Daisy Ridley dared say that she and John Boyega were equal, and it proves that SJWs will turn on you at every opportunity because they don't really care about anything but speaking their minds and pushing their agenda politics, as I've said in my last video. I'm basically repeating myself because they don't care about anything except grabbing power and basically pushing their rancid wills on everyone else because they're communist assholes, and communists have always tried to push their rancid beliefs out on other people because they crave power more than anything else. If they were to ever get any real power, they'd end up killing millions because that's the only thing that communists can do, because they're all evil a-holes, and Daisy Ridley proves they will do everything they can to continue on this purity spider, and when they're pushed out like she has just been done, they will get on their hands and knees and point at anyone else just so they can deflect from the criticism they get because they don't want to be seen as being on the wrong side of history. That's why Daisy Ridley picked Donald Trump. He's an easy target, but believe me, she would betray anyone, even her own mother and father, if it meant that she could get back in the good graces of the SJWs and the NPCs. If you like this video, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube is currently doing another subscriber purge, so make sure you're still subscribed. If you're watching my videos but you have not subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Read Comics, They're Bad For You. Then go over to BitChute and subscribe to my BitChute channel, Comic Freak. Hit that bell for notifications, hit that like button, and leave some comments down below. And if you could you also share this video for me, please? Share it on Twitter and share it on Facebook. Share it anywhere you think it would do the most good, because YouTube is not going around promoting their own YouTube creators anymore, and it would really help me if you could please share this video. Now listen closely, it's plug-in time again. Keep checking back in future videos for more information on my own upcoming independent comic book, Scumdogs. Well, that's enough plugging for my independent comic book. I'm Chris Williams, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video or review.